Hi friends, Amir here from the Local Home Finder team, and today I'm sitting down with none other than Mr. Stephen Kelk. He's one of our local inspectors, and he's a wealth of information. So we thought we'd bring him in here and get him to tell us a little bit about himself.
Stephen Kelk, like Amir said, I run Kelk Home Inspections. I'm born and raised in Shelburne. I come from a construction background and use that knowledge in the home inspection field. I think it's definitely important to have somebody that's built a house.
Knows the inside and outside of a house? Yeah.
Yes.
So today we're going to ask him, why would somebody hire a home inspector? Say I have some background in construction. Maybe I finished a basement in my day. Why do I need you? Why can't I just go inspect it myself?
Big reason to get a home inspection is to learn about your house. There's a process that we're going to take, what we go through, that's probably going to be different from somebody that maybe finished their basement. We're looking at a lot of items and kind of following a routine.
How many items total do you look at?
A lot. a lot.
Okay.
A lot of items.
Awesome.
So we're looking for major defects, things that might stop you from getting insurance.
Okay.
Things that could be safety hazards, systems that aren't working, and kind of having that information of how to operate these systems and knowing what to look for is going to help determine what's working and what's not. Learning about your house is important.
Yeah.
What needs to be maintained? Where are the shutoffs? Insurance is also going to have questions. What type of plumbing's in the home? Is it breakers or fuses?
That's a big one,
wire?
right?
Yeah.
That's a big one. I've ran into a couple times. Yeah.
And do they need things changed? Insurance kind of gets to make the rules on things like that.
Okay. So essentially, you put together a manual for the house.
Yeah, we're going to put together a report. We're going to go through the house with the client. We really do like having the client present. That way we can talk about things, see them in person. You're not just getting a report from a home inspector. You can talk about maybe why it's a problem, what caused it, how it can be fixed, things like that. And we give them a book at the end of the inspection that's now that you've had a home inspection, which is really kind of the manual of how to make this a perfect house, how to maintain it. And then we send them a report, which is going to go through all our findings with photos and really show them what we found that day.
So these days, I think people need a manual with even their phones or their TVs. So not only does he make you the manual custom, he'll walk you through it and he'll show you exactly what does what and if there's any trouble with the house, which is great.
Exactly.
So Stephen, what would a seller want to do to prepare for their home inspection? To get things ready for you to be able to make it as easy as possible for you to look at the house.
What a home inspector needs to do is look at everything.
Yeah.
So the more access they can give us, the better. So things like making sure that we can get in the attic. So maybe the closet's being cleared out. Don't have everything stacked in front of the electrical panel. I mean, you really shouldn't do that anyway, but
probably a bad idea.
Nice to let us get in there. Same with the furnace. We're going to be going through these things. We're going to be opening up systems. So nice to get the access to things. Even like exterior walls, having things maybe pulled out in a basement if there's a lot of stored items in there. Let us see around the perimeter. There's always mystery switches. There are always light switches. We don't know what they do. Okay. And then the question kind of comes back to them. But labeling any unknown switches, or if they don't know what it does and they've never figured it out, maybe labeling it for us. Replace burnt out light bulbs.
Okay.
Because we see a light not working, we might think, hey, is there an electrical problem or is it just the bulb? We have to go investigate it. So it's always nice to just have things kind of ready for us like that.
Okay.
Another thing maybe they could do would be giving us some notes. Sometimes there's specialty systems, maybe leaving the manuals for a buyer, some notes on some unknown systems, because there's just things that your average homeowner or a new homeowner, first-time buyer isn't going to know about, and we might not have the extra information that day.
Personal knowledge on that one. I had an irrigation system I didn't know what to do with.
Yeah,
so,
and even like a sump pump. Like how often does it run? Does it ever come on? You know, we're wondering, is this thing needed, or maybe it never gets used.
So a couple questions I get a fair bit is the first one, infrared imaging. What does that do? What does that do for the client?
So that's a neat one. After we've gone through the whole house, I like to go around the house with an infrared camera. It can be called thermal imaging or infrared. And what it's doing is it's showing me temperature differences of whatever it looks at. It kind of looks like a gun. And it shows us temperature represented by colors. So colder, like a darker color, purples, blues, blacks, and warmer would be like whites, oranges, reds, yellows.
Very nice.
So very quickly can I see if there's heat loss, maybe moisture from a leaking bathtub or a shower, or even from a roof. Even hot spots with an electrical. We could see, say, an orange or a white color.
Okay.
Now we'd know that maybe there's an electrical issue. Are we seeing a 60 or 70 degree outlet?
Okay.
It really lets us see what the naked eye can't see. Now, it's just showing us the temperature. So it might tell us exactly where to put our moisture meter if we see maybe a blemish or something that looks abnormal.
And that's another thing I was going to ask you. Was that related to something having to do with mold? Does that help you find mold in the house?
If there's moisture somewhere and it's organic material, generally there'd be mold present.
Okay.
So it's going to help us see a specific area where we could put the moisture meter to see if we have moisture. Obviously with a moisture meter, it needs to be touching the surface of whatever we're looking at, and we couldn't rub that over every square inch of the house.
For sure.
It just couldn't happen. So this camera will let us see, hey, that spot there, let's check it.
Very
and
cool.
It'll tell us, is it wet, is it not?
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Stephen, what's the benefit of hiring a local inspector versus Joe that you know from where you're moving from?
So it's great to have someone local because, like real estate agents, they know the area, they know the types of houses in the area. A question I get asked a lot would be, are you familiar with rural homes? Are you familiar with century homes, which we have a lot of in the area?
I sure do.
Maybe the last inspector that they had worked in the city and never really got into a century home or never got into a rural area, didn't really know what to expect with a septic or a well or just the differences you may have on that type of house. Now, not just rural homes, but knowing the area that you're working in is always beneficial. What you kind of see over and over with certain builders, good things versus bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. So Stephen is a local inspector and he'll be able to tell you everything about the home that you're looking to purchase in the future in Dufferin County. So if you're looking for his information, it'll be listed below and you can always give us a shout. So if you have any more questions for Stephen or myself, go ahead and make a comment below or send us a PM and we'll talk to you next time. That's it. So now we do a high five. Yes.